One thing I'm really enjoying right now is the fact that as men and women, we are getting a really close look at ourselves. And the way it's looking, I don't think we enjoy what we're seeing. In fact, we're butting heads with each other. And I still maintain that's a good thing. As painful as this period in human history is, where men and women have never been so divided, I truly believe this is a necessary part of our evolution as human beings. It's a painful process, but it is necessary. Men and women are slowly coming to terms with the fact that we really are not the same. We want different, we act different, we prioritize different, and as a result, we end up hurting each other. Because no doubt, we want each other. Or at the very least, we want things from each other. But we're currently going through a lot of frustration because we don't know how to get the other side to give us what we want. And that's where all this frustration is coming from. Women would like men to act a certain way to benefit them. The problem is, if men acted in that way, it would go in direct contradiction to what as men we want. And vice versa. Why do you think women hate Andrew Tate so much? He's a catalyst to this entire reaction. He says the things that every man already knows deep down inside, but is too scared to say out loud. Women all over the world are going to have to come to terms with the fact that Andrew Tate is every man on planet Earth, if given the same level of freedom. Just like on some level, Drew Offalo represents 80% of chicks out there. Sure, you might not like what she says, but in my mind, she represents the most selfish point of view for women. And she plays the role to a T. Like, yo, this girl embodies 100% women and fuck everybody else. That's what she's doing. There's no room in her message for considering the other side. It's completely one-sided. And I, for one, am grateful for that perspective, because that allows us to know what's really going on between men and women on like a wide scale. So the question becomes, what's the solution then? Because it's clear that as men and women, we really can't stand each other. Because on a biological level, we don't want the same thing. But then we really can't fulfill those biological imperatives without each other. What a mess. The way I see it, we have three options. Option 1, competition. We can compete with each other until one side wins out. Which personally I think is a waste of time, because if one side wins over the other, then technically we both lose. Remember, the only way we meet the biological imperative in the end is to work together, which brings me to the second one. The second option, collaboration, which on the surface looks like a good idea, but it's actually the worst one. Because again, to remind you, we are different. Men and women, we want entirely different things. And collaboration insinuates that we're working towards the same goal, which we are not. You only collaborate with someone that has the same exact goal in mind with you. That way the strategies and the plans you come up with and execute on are not scatterbrained. Not to mention, it also has that added benefit of both sides not needing to compromise more than they need to. In the case of collaboration between men and women, that's just not gonna fly. I mean, think about it. Despite how blatantly unfair we all know the divorce court system is right now, nothing has been done to change it. Because one side is suffering as a result of it, and the other side is greatly benefiting. So yeah, collab ain't gonna work out. Which brings me to my personal solution to it. Pay close attention. I say, instead of compete or collaborate, we negotiate. I mean, if you really think about it, all men and women have been doing in society as of recent has been some attempt or the other at trying to get the other side to concede defeat. Women are saying men are useless, men are asking women what they bring to the table. It sounds to me like both sides are trying to disqualify each other so that they both have some kind of artificially raised value when they approach the negotiating table. So instead of negotiating in such a juvenile way, why don't we just be mature about it? Because we can't just keep fighting forever. This shit is getting old. One side keeps trying to diminish the relevance of the other side, and honestly, we both lose if we keep doing that. But if we come to a steady agreement, I think we can hash this out correctly. Now, I'm not sure how that'll work on like a global scale or whatever. But you try it on an individual level and let me know how it works. I'm currently experimenting with it. At some point, we're just going to have to admit that we need each other and get over with it.